Ooh, well, I guess we're back. Whoa. Let's get the stream going. I'll do my little intro thing. How's it going, everybody? Today, I'm going to be working on this little project here. Actually, it's the Lost King project that I've been working on forever now. And I got a few models done. So yeah, we're going to be working on this. My main goal for today is going to be getting this all worked out, getting the character and the camera system working. And then maybe, depending on how long this stream goes, might try to get some of the animations in as well. So yeah, that's going to be the main idea. Hopefully we can get all that working. Okay. I think we should be good to go. I guess I'm going to start by just, because this is where the main player is going to spawn. So I'm hoping to get things in here. Let's add ourselves a basic cube. And this will be the player's hitbox. And I kind of want the player hitbox to be roughly the same size as these objects here. We'll go something like that, keeping it about 1 unit tall. There we go. Okay, so now I'm just going to... Before I do this, actually, you can see that all these objects here are all separate meshes. So I'm probably going to turn this world into one solid mesh for now. And it shouldn't mess up the collisions too bad for now, but eventually I want to do separate collisions and make collision boxes for everything. Hopefully that will keep the performance up so we're not lagging so bad. Because right now everything being this way is just terrible. So let's select all these. Select objects. Going to deselect my sun here and my player object. Like so. Reselect this. There we go. That should work. And I don't think we have any other empties in here, so let's just Control J, make that all one object. And let's see how many vertices we have working here. Get the decimate out. Ooh, look at that, 100,000. So we got 100,000 faces, so that's pretty intense. And I think what we'll do is just do like a planar. We'll do a limit of 10. Let's see if we can reduce this count. So we're at to 90,000. And I bet you most of it is going to be my walls. My walls are just really not optimized. But 90,000 is definitely a lot better. You can see it messed up all my textures. So all those would need to be, we'll just have to redo those. Which is fine. Wow, that is a lot of faces. And let's do this for all boundaries. See if that helps. Okay, let's try 25. That's gonna be pretty intense, but oh yeah, that might be too much. You can see the cauldron. Maybe we won't do that. Let's see what the performance is like with just the regular geometry, even though it is pretty intense. I think it should be okay. In fact, let's just do a quick run test, see what our frame rate is. So we'll do frame rate and profile. Let's press P. Oh! First crash of the day. That's awesome. First crash. Let's try that again. Okay. Good thing I saved. So it's all one object. Let's see if that was a fluke or if it'll happen again. Yeah, it's crashing every time. Oh, this is my favorite part. Okay, let's take everything and just do loose parts. See if it has to do with the geometry. This is gonna take a while. I have a lot of loose parts in here. Oh, that might have been a bad idea. Okay, let's just not do that. PWG, goodbye. There we go. Let's try that again. In fact, let's just delete this and re-import it. If I press play now, let's see. Yep, it's fine. It must have been the model. So let's go append, and we will go to game and projects, Blender projects, this King map. We'll do collections and just grab all those. There we go. Did come in with some extra models, but that's fine. So let's just select these, delete those. We don't need them at all. There we go. Actually, I kind of want to keep these swords. I got these swords here that I made, and those I'll keep. So I might want to use them for the player later. Then again, I might try a different model for the player. I think I might do that. We'll see. Let's do a first test to make sure that it doesn't crash. We'll save our game. Okay, it didn't crash that time. So it must have been joining them all together that crashed it. Could be a material problem. Let's delete these two, or these three pillars here. There we go, and we got these extra objects here we don't need. There we go. So I think the goal is going to be to just get this player working properly. And for that, let's not worry about the collisions right now. We're just going to go straight into adding our player movement. There we go. And I do like to do player movement because I am going to be doing a top-down game, so I'm going to be doing it in the logic nodes instead of the bricks, just because I can normalize the player movement. So that's why I do that. So we'll call this player movement. We'll just call it player script. That should be fine. And I'm going to apply that to our player. In fact, I'm going to call this player. There we go. Now let's give it some logic. So we'll start with our keyboards. These are always fun to do. Should just make a... That'd actually be a good idea. I should just make a importable blueprint for this. That way I don't have to keep doing this over and over, because this always takes a little bit of time. We'll add our math nodes. There we go. Connect those together. Subtract. So I want my vector, a vector x, y, and z. Then I want a vector math. Connect that together. Set that to normalize. Wherever normalize is, there it is. So I want to connect that into a... we could do player movement or like a walk, but this can have issues. I guess it just really depends. We'll give it a shot. If it gives us issues, then we'll change it to the other one. So we got our vector math. We should just be able to put the result into the vector. Hopefully that doesn't error out. So we have our x and our y. I think we will use, yeah, we'll just use the y-axis for up and down. Pretty standard. And we can leave that blank. Now I do want to use the keyboard to activate. So when keyboard is active, we have a key pressed, then we will make that happen. So that's pretty easy. We'll go down here and we should be able to, so X and Y, so this will be our A and D key. Let's just do A and D. This will be W and S. We want to make sure that these are key down, so every time, so when it's pressed down, the character will keep moving. And we want that to be a self. There we go. That should make that work. Obviously it's going to be too fast, so if we press play and press the keys, nothing's going to happen because this needs to be on character. We'll do collision box and actor. Yeah, it's way too fast. So let's add another. In fact, we can just take, well, we'll do a vector math. Oh, yeah, just duplicate the vector math node. And I'm going to multiply that. We could multiply it by a delta factor. So we'll get the delta factor here. There we go. Then they separate X and Y, plug that into there, and we'll multiply it there. Now I think it's not going to go anywhere because we still need to do, what do we need to do here? It needs to be multiplied by a speed value, I think, if we do it that way. So let's just multiply here. That's too complicated. We're not going to worry about that right now. Just take these values to like 0.01. Okay, too slow. We'll do 0.1. There we go. I think that's decent. I think that'll be a decent speed. Alrighty. So let's just get a camera system working here. And I think I want to do probably a slow follow system for this as well. So we'll just add a new cube. Make it a little bit wider. This will be a ghost cube. Make this no collision. And we will call this slow and follow. There we go. And I want it to be invisible. But I think we'll leave it visible for now just for testing purposes, which will be fine. Yeah. So with that going like that, let's just make this little cube. So we'll actually call this Control J and player movement like that. And let's just add a, should I do a tween? Is it a vector tween or how, let's see. Yeah, I think so. I think we're gonna tween, so tween, or maybe it's not that. Set. Wow, I might actually, how do I, it's been so long since I've done this as well. Can I just do a slow follow? I might be able to do it this way. And we'll just say on update, connect that in there. And we want our object to be our slow follow, and then this to be our character. And this could be position global, so if we move our character, yep, well, that's a lot easier. Didn't have to do any fancy math or anything, so that's cool. Which is also nice because we can select that object, and we'll add a new camera. Bring that camera up, and we want to position this. I want to go just outside the bounds because this could be all black, especially once we do the lighting. And then I want just a little bit of angle. So we'll go like 34. That might be too much, 26. Try that. And let's just adjust this a little bit. Grab on the Y. Grab on the Z. There we go. That should be good. And we can mess with our field of view a little bit as well. Kind of bring that back out a little bit. And then parent it to our slow follow cube. So now we can move around. Oh, my A and D keys are backwards, so that is a little awkward. So let's just change that. Flip those around. Okay, that feels pretty good. So now we can actually walk around the scene. I didn't do anything with the collision, so it's all just basic collision stuff. But it doesn't seem to be affecting performance too bad. Obviously, I can't go back upstairs. That looks pretty good, though. So let's just go ahead and save our game and hide the ghost. So let's go in here, visibility, make that a wire. So that should hide now. Yeah. We don't have to worry about it. Yeah, we can climb up on the bed. Okay, so that is pretty basic for that stuff. We can just wander around the scene now. Let's see if our camera, if this is fine for the camera for most of the rooms. Because we want, this is gonna be an adventure game, so we want to be able to interact with stuff. And then, okay, so yeah, we can come in here. Maybe we should, I think what I'll do is make it so when you enter a room, the first level of walls will kind of go into transparent mode. I think that'd be a good idea. Do something like that. And that'll make it so you can see the character a lot better. Do some interact stuff here. Okay. Right on. Got these rooms we can go in. Okay, perfect. I got some details on the back wall too in some of the rooms, so we might have to change those just because the player won't be able to see them very well. There we go. Okay. So I guess the next thing I want to do is just add some animation to the character. So let's just add in my player model, and we'll go append, and we'll go back, and I'm going to do pixel character UPBGE. And I had this guy prepped ahead of time. I think I might have to do some extra animations. We'll see. I did have a jog animation though, and hopefully that is still there. So let's just go objects, select all these, append, and see where they are. Ooh, get some lag. Okay. We have to delete this sun object. There we go. And this camera. So delete that, delete that. Select the character. Hey, there we go. And I want this character to be placed properly, so let's see if that'll work. There we go, okay. Center a little bit better. There we go. And I think before I parent this, let's just scale it down a little bit more. And then make this a wire as well, so I can see what the player is doing better. Let's make the player, because that chair is pretty huge, so let's make the player just a little bit bigger. And I want a decent size. This room is actually going to be kind of small. Hopefully it's not too bad. And the feet, I just want to clip through the ground just a tiny bit to really get that contact. Okay, I think that will be okay. I think the character's just about the same size as the door. We'll change the size if we need to. But let's parent it, Control P, keep object transform. Now I do have to make sure that these objects are properly, make sure the collisions are properly turned off on them. So I think if I can get to the character here, which was hopefully put in a collection. Where at though? Okay, maybe. Select hierarchy, there we go. Should have all of our characters go to the physics section. Not too bad. And I just want to make sure that these are all turned off, otherwise we'll have the character exploding out of existence. And so we'll just copy, copy physics properties. There we go. So all these should be no collision now. Let's see what that looks like. Alright, I got a character in the game. Character is a little bit small, so maybe I'll make it so the camera is just a bit closer to the player. Like so. Just to give it a little bit more of a claustrophobic vibe. And the player, I can't tell if the player's clipping through the wall there a little bit. Might have to scale down. Yeah, just a tiny bit. Which is fine. We'll just scale the player down a little bit. Move him closer to the floor. There we go. Okay. That is a lot better. So now I need to get the direction and make sure that when you press the keys, the character is facing in the right direction that you're walking. So to do that, what I want to do is actually make a pivot point. So I'm going to select the player object. Maybe it should be the armature. We'll see. So we want to rotate. Oh, we'll see how it goes, but for now, let's add in a pivot point object, which is just going to be an empty. And I will go empty. Let's do a sphere, like so. Call this player underscore pivot. That wasn't an underscore, but it's fine. Oh yeah, take care. Hope it should be on YouTube, so if you want to watch it later, it's totally fine. Okay, so we got that. Now I want to parent my armature to this empty. So Control P, keep transform, and parent the empty to our player. There we go. So now when we rotate the player, everything else should go with it, and the armature will go with our empty. Perfect. Okay. So now we need to figure out a way to rotate this empty in the direction that we are going. So I think what we'll do, we could just do the simple rotate too, I think. So let's just do a rotate 2, like so. I want to remove that from the frame. And this will also be activated by the keyboard. And we will remove that from the frame as well. There we go. I got gremlins. All right. And the object we want to rotate is going to be our, what did we call it? Player pivot. Like so. And we want to rotate this on the positive Y. And we'll do the factor of probably 0.48. That'll be fine for now. And we want to rotate this. I think we'll have to change the value here. We'll see what this does. Actually, how am I going to do this? I got to figure that out. Because that is not actually going to work. Maybe I can attach it over here. So I'll say... Actually, I'm curious. Will this work? Probably not. Yeah, I don't think so. Let's do A over here. And then... So nothing is happening. We'll try 90 on this one. Okay, something did happen. We got a result. I think... Okay, so let's do 0 and do 90 here and 0 here to see what happens. And that just did the opposite. I think I'll actually do this with the logic bricks instead, because I think that'll be more reliable. Maybe. Oh, it won't though, because I'll need to use objects for that. I guess there's a couple of ways you could do it that... Either way, I think we'll just do the old empty, the trick with the empties. So just select that. Should I? Hey, welcome! Welcome to the stream. We are just working on, I'm just working on this little game project. My little Lost Key project here. And I want to get a player walking around in the environment. So that's the main goal for today. Yeah. And I'm just getting the character to rotate properly when the key is pressed. So I think what I'm actually going to do is just probably duplicate these. And we shall remove these from the frame. There we go. And then I will get we'll just do the rotate too. So, and if A is pressed, then we will rotate our player pivot. We want to rotate this. I think it's on the X, and we'll rotate 90, and we'll do negative 90. So, thank you. I saw an artist on Sketchfab who had a pretty nice little art style with this kind of character that I really like, so I figured I'd try to make my own. And I think it turned out pretty good. I love the little backpack. That took a while to get looking right. Also got these little pouches that the character has. And then I just used a vertex paint to paint on the pixels. And then obviously this stuff was just low poly modeling. So yeah, let's see if this works. Okay, the rotation seems to be a little bit off. Let's see what's up with that. Or maybe it's not. It's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I did it. Thank you. I did fix it. It is running at 1080p now, so it should be a little bit more crisp. The camera problem, though, the camera will probably die about an hour in, so, or in about another hour. I do have another webcam on an order right now, so hopefully that'll show up in the next week or so. And then the quality for the camera will be much better. Instead of my old DSLR. That doesn't work very well. But yeah. I wonder if this needs to be like 80... Let's try 87. That is actually a little bit better, I think. Let's try 89. Still a little bit off. It's kind of weird. I am running, so this is my main desktop PC, so I'm running a 3080 and I think it's a 5700 X, oh no, it's 5700, here, let me just pull up the specs. Better than guessing. CPU is a Ryzen 7 5700G with Radeon graphics, and the GPU is just a 3080. So that's what I got going on. Yeah. Here are the specs right here. So that guy running. And I have 32 gigs of memory. There we go. So that's what that is. Which unfortunately does not help with some of the problems that you run into. No matter how powerful your computer is, you just run into issues. But one thing at a time. So I'm going to take this, and I want this one to be the opposite, so we'll do positive 89. See how that looks. We got kind of a direction thing going on now. Hey, welcome to the stream. We're just working on getting this character moving properly. It's still a little bit off though, and I wonder if I'm just gonna have to tweak this till it's right. Let's do 85. Doesn't look like it's actually changing all that much. Yeah. It might just be the way the rig is positioned. I might have to change that. So let's just make this 90 and negative 90 because it looks like it's about the same. And then let's just duplicate these two, W and S. I'm going to make this kind of Let's turn these to 0. And let's do 90 here, see what that does. Press S. Okay. Hey, we got kind of a kind of a thing working there. And then we'll do -90 for the W. Oh, maybe not. Maybe 90. Ah, so that's interesting. Perhaps I need to do 180 up here. Oop. Okay, so these need to be flipped around. This needs to be -90, and this needs to be... Nope, got that wrong. Whoa. What am I doing? There we go. Nope, still inverted. Maybe I do 90 up here and 90 down here. Okay. That's kind of working, I guess. But it's like at a strange angle and it can't change it. Just slightly off. And let's set these all to 0.2. 0.2 and 0.2. So now it rotates smoothly. But again, the character is just slightly off. I wonder if I can offset that by just rotating the character. Okay, so it worked for one direction, but not the others. So that's not going to be an option. Question is, why is it off? What is the reason it's off? Not even the wisest can tell that. Let's see. And I wonder if it has to do with the empty. Is it the empty or is it the rig? Let's just grab this guy, Alt-P, clear transform. Select that, and let's just add a cube. I just want to make sure. And I want player. In fact, grab that. There we go. Now it's named the same. Surprise stream? Yeah, it's I'm just streaming at a normal hour for me. It's like 3 p.m. now. Instead of streaming at 9 p.m. This is generally when I would choose to stream, but I just get too busy and then don't do it. So I'm gonna do this until I run out of energy. Okay, let's turn this onto a no collision and parent our rig to it. Keep transform, and then this will be parented to the player. Transform. Okay, let's try that out and see if we get a better result. Obviously nothing is going to be working. Let's do player pivot 1, I guess is what it's gonna, is that? Oh, I guess we'll do that. Copy that and just throw it in here. There we go. And let's see what this, do we get a better result? Okay, so, well, kind of. Maybe? Does that look better? Oh, it's just, that's weird. Okay, so it's just slightly rotating over time. So what is, okay, that's odd. So S is broken. Maybe not. That cool. Working on your project, no stress while streaming. 2 birds with 1 stone. pretty energy efficient. Yeah, I guess it could be that way. I guess I could probably... I've been thinking about it, like how I want to do videos, because I've kind of been in a lull when it comes to videos. I just have no idea what to make, or what I want to make, and what I'd want to put my energy into at the moment. But that's why I'm doing a lot of streams now. It's just, I feel like I can not have to worry about it as much, I think. So that's probably why I'm doing it this way. It's a lot more fun instead of sitting down and writing a script for 6 hours and then, yeah. So let's see, what do we got going on here? I need to figure out why this is giving me issues. Yeah, for sure. So should this be -90 as well? Or I might... If I get this... I think I'm only getting the same issue on S. Because if I do this, it's fine. 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 Just S is giving me issues. So let's just take this and do -90 here. Please tell me you're going to give me... Okay, there we go. Character is fixed now. That's pretty good. Let's get rid of his deal here. By making you invisible. We'll just turn that onto wire. Alrighty. And we even get our diagonal movements. We don't have to do anything for that. It's just automatically done. Let's see what our performance is right now. I'm kind of curious if we're getting good performance or if it's kind of just bad. Let's do frame rate and profile. Running at 50 FPS currently. That's pretty bad. We're not having anything but a character going. It looks like our rasterizer is pretty high. Let's see. Logic is not high, so it's definitely not logic. And physics is at 2%. Could probably fix that quite a bit. It's definitely going to be all this stuff. These are all separate objects, and they all have basic collisions on. Yes, I did normalize the movement. So if you go back to up here, you can see that I have vector math normalized right here. So it's taking these inputs and then normalizing them before multiplying them to the proper speed. So that is covered. Okay. So when I did merge these together before, I was getting crashes. So it was crashing every time. So I'm not sure how I want to do this. Maybe I should take... maybe I should try doing just the walls. I definitely want to merge the walls that are going to be in front of the player, because I want these to turn invisible when the player walks in front of them. Because you can see, like in our game, if I walk over to the door and we get obscured pretty... Oh, we can climb that. So definitely want to change... how are we going to do that? How are we going to get better performance? So is there a way to randomize rooms for when they play again? Yeah, so I do have I did do a system kind of like that where I did random rooms. And I think what you would want to do is either pre-build the rooms or kind of build up a grid of empties where you can spawn different objects at different places. I don't know if you saw my little project here. Let me just pull that up, actually. It doesn't have any talking or anything, so that's cool. So, this project here that I made has random rooms and random generation. So it even, like, the objects spawn randomly in the rooms, too. You can see it running around. You can open chests. And then these chests were also randomized, so they'd spawn randomly in places. And then all these objects would spawn randomly. And you can see it from this top-down view here. It would just spawn the rooms randomly. Like that. Yeah. It wasn't perfect, but if you do want to download it, it is available on my itch page. It's totally free. You can just download it there and then mess around with the project. I think, oh yeah, it's 3.6. So it is for UPPG 3.6. And it had pretty decent performance, I think. At the very beginning, it obviously lags while it's spawning everything, but you can fix that with the loading screen. And then once it loads, it's totally fine. So yeah. In fact, let me actually pull up this so I can show everybody. It's like a bunch of self-promotion, but I swear it's not. Yeah, there it is. And I will just duplicate this tab so I don't have to get rid of my other one. Yeah. So here it is on my itch page. So if you want, in fact, I'll probably, when the stream is over, I'll throw this as a pinned comment or something for everybody to look, if you want to look at it. But yeah, that's that. Alrighty. Close those. Yeah, I guess it could be like just self-promotion the entire time. You are promoting yourself live, I guess. And anybody can come and check it out. But I guess that's how you also share stuff. Let's take these rocks here and make all these into one object. We don't need them to be their own things. They're not going anywhere. So Control J, we'll go object set origin to volume. And I'm just going to play the game over and over just to make sure that things are still working. So I'm going to combine these because I am just afraid that I'm going to get a random crash somewhere. And these are quads, so I'll probably triangulate these to help out with the performance just a little bit. Now here's where I probably made a mistake. When I was making these, you can see that there's just way too much geometry in these walls. So this was just bad. That was bad design on my part. I gotta take my glasses off because wearing glasses with headsets just does not work. As anybody who wears glasses should know. Let's see. I've given myself a migraine with the frame of my glasses pressing against my temples. Okay, so I need to figure out a way to help myself with these. And I want these top walls to disappear, so let's just join those together. Do this bit by bit. So all those can be one piece, and I'll do the same with these bottom ones. And make that the center. Rewatching stream afterwards, treating it like a tutorial. My first game will be top-down adventure game like yours. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably a great way. There's probably a lot more detail in these streams than you'd get from my normal videos. I still have to optimize the dwarf character first, though. Oh, yeah, okay. That was the character you... Okay. I'm not sure what the best way to optimize characters is, but I'll show you mine. Here's my little guy. The hair is definitely not optimized. I need to go through here. What I like to do is I just like to grab like little parts of it. And then you can actually see what kind of plane you have here. So like I have this little angle. And I'll actually grab these edges here. And like this. And then if you press F, this creates a face there. But I need to actually... It's probably not going to work properly. Oh, I should probably just select the faces like this. and then just press F, turn it all into one face, and it keeps your texture data like so. And then you could probably do this and make that all one face. And then you triangulate it so it's a little bit better. Or renders better. I know a lot of engines prefer triangles over quads. Quads just hurt performance for whatever reason. Computers don't like quads. So, by pressing Control T, you can automatically triangulate your objects. So that can help out. Maybe I should just do this whole thing, and then I'll do this side. Something like this. I'll do that as a separate piece. You don't want to get too aggressive because sometimes it will break, but yeah. There we go. Then we'll just make that all one face. Like so. Yeah. I guess that's true as well. Quads don't exist. It is, yeah. It is a they are triangles under the hood. I can't. There was a good video just kind of going over it. But just having them be triangles is just better instead of the quads for performance wise. I couldn't tell you the exact reason or why, but I do remember. I could be wrong though. It could not even matter. But yeah. I think there's actually pretty few actual faces on my character. It's pretty low poly. But yeah. Alright. That's enough technical stuff. Let's get back into this. Okay, we're getting closer to 60 FPS again, so it is definitely helping by turning these back into solid, or one mesh here. Just keep pressing play, make sure we don't get any crashes. And everything seems good so far. There we go. And we'll do this one like that. Just do center volume there. Oops. There we go. Whoa. Just play. And we're back to 55. What did I miss? What did I do? Does it have to do... Whoa, that's kind of weird. Okay, I guess it does make sense a little bit. The farther zoomed out you are, the more lag you're gonna get. But I need a better way to select stuff too. These doorways would probably all be one object. So let's do that. Objects center volume. Make sure we can still play it. Yeah, there we go. Alrighty. Now, where are these walls being held? Can I just select all these out of a collection? Yeah, there are so many walls. So we'll select the first wall, go all the way down. 232 brick walls. I think that's too many. I don't know about you guys. Let's Control J that. There we go. Object set origin to center of volume. And we can see the entire map, and it is at 60 frames, which is so much better. 60 FPS. And I think... Yep, we can still interact with it fine. All the collisions still work. It looks like we have some texture issues. I just pointed at my screen. Can you guys see that? We do have some texture issues with some of these doorways, but that's fine. That can be fixed. That's one thing I always thought that was impressive about UPBGE is just the collisions have always just been impressive to me. There we go. Alrighty. I think my character's just offset just slightly again, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Not going back to true. It was working earlier though. What in the world? I gotta figure out why it does that. It like gets worse and worse over time. It's just a skill issue, I think. I prefer how collisions work in UPBG compared to Unreal so far. I would agree, yeah. So my experience with Unreal Engine was pain. I will admit that. Every part of it was pain. It is really cool though. I think if I sat down. Yes, Bullet Engine for the win. I agree. 100% Bullet Physics is one of the best physics engines. Even if it can be a little bit performance, it can hurt your performance, but overall, as far as precision goes, it's my favorite. Godot just drove me nuts. Oh my goodness, Godot is so bad. You get objects that are like very floaty, and they don't interact with each other very realistically. And I ran into it while trying to do a survival project for it, and it was pain. Those are my hot takes for those. Some Blender devs are trying to implement Bullet inside of GeoNodes at the moment. We'll see. I was wondering, like, I saw a video and I think somebody was making Doom with GeoNodes, which I just thought was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, I feel... Here, let me look it up really quick. Because I thought it was just crazy. Doom GeoNodes. It's in all caps, but it's fine. Where is it at? Doom Eternal. I know it's around here somewhere. Doom. We'll do... Maybe it's because I typed it in all caps. Maybe it's broken. Doom GeoNodes Blender. I know I saw it the other day. Well, maybe... I guess I won't be able to find it. That's too bad. Oh, did I just see it? And just close it? Where'd I see it? What did I see? Okay. I thought I saw it for a second, but I might just be seeing things. Yeah. Well, that's too bad. Okay, let me catch up on chat here. Some Blender, okay. There's also a conference at BlendCon when someone remakes Flappy Birds with GeoNodes. Someone also is working on controllable vehicle using rigid constraints and physics. That's nuts. I think it's crazy. Like, I feel like GeoNodes, it's one of those things that's just magic to me. Like, I just have no idea. I don't understand the science. But it just proves that if someone wants to do something, they're going to do it, no matter what they have. Whether that's GeoNodes or not. I just never even thought that geonodes would have that kind of power. Geometry nodes. Why am I always in all caps? I keep hitting my caps key. Geometry nodes. Node games. Let's see. You're telling me somebody made Conway's Game of Life with geometry nodes? That's just next level, I think. Like, why? Why would you do this? And we got Default Cube doing Default Cube stuff. At what point do people just have too much time on their hands? Oh, okay, so this is the Flappy Bird game you were talking about. Making games simulation nodes. That's pretty wild. 40 minutes long.
Procedural materials, but this time, you know, without this whole node hassle, we're actually making a new way to make them with a much easier setup. And we're also looking for procedural.
That's 40 minutes long.
There are some contact links.
Pretty crazy stuff, though.
Right, that's what I do. And
that's wild.
Current attribute. Let's take the current attribute.
Like, how do you figure this stuff out? What do you have to do to figure this out?
Call it instead previous. So how does this work? Might be a bit counterintuitive, but it works so that on the very first frame 0,
he's very quiet.
Oh yeah. Jump switch.
Where's our? Okay.
So in the end, I'm gonna add a set material and get this wall material.
Oh yeah, these people are like, they got something going on in their head that just it's superpowers, I think. Yeah, people who are just on a different level. Yes, making FPS crouching is hard. I still don't know a very good method to do it in UPPG. I mean, like, if you can code, then you could probably do it, but it's always the collisions that is our problems. Could you imagine doing this in front of an actual conference of people? Like, you're just trying to make Flappy Birds in front of somebody real quick? That's amazing. No code, yeah. Oh, no code. Yeah, I don't know. Let me turn the music off so I can actually hear what is happening.
I think it's the collision.
Let's pause that really quick.
You can tune this yourself.
There we go.
So this is the collision, and let's do so that something happens when the bird collides. What usually happens when a bird collides?
It's probably like not even here. You probably can't even hear it on stream.
Let's do so that we use, instead of this jump switch,
I would make it the same way as I did in Blueprint UE. Scale down the collider of your character when you crouch. So yeah, that would be the way to do it. That's how most people do it, I think. The problem is with Blender is the collisions don't update properly, so they only update when the character moves. So you have to move the character forward like 0.01. Yeah, so, and that's another problem. If your character, like your rig and everything, is parented to the player object, then all that stuff will scale with the... Here, let's do a little example here. Let me just save this and then open up a new instance here. So I will do a little demonstration. Okay, so let's just make a quick, very quick little... Let's parent my stuff to an empty. Yes, so let's scale that 2 units tall. Let's just add a plane for walking on. And we'll give this guy some character physics. And actor, we'll do collision. F7, there we go. Oops. Want to delete that, add a new camera. Rotate that camera 90 degrees, bring it up to about head level. Let's see. Okay, and we will do something like this. Control P, keep option. Okay, keep pressing Control S. That's a habit. So yeah, obviously if you scale the character, then your camera will scale with it. And say you have, let's just make some arms really quick for our character. And we'll make this a viewport. We'll make that wire so we can see everything a little bit better. And we'll come in here, go into our camera, make our camera Doom style. It's like Quake, and we'll put our arm right here. Scale that arm down, little Minecraft arm. There we go. And if we parent our arm to our camera, like so. There we go. And we'll make sure our arm is also on no collision. Move it in. There. And we'll have to scale it down just a little bit more. Move it like right there. A little finicky. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. So we got our little arm here. Obviously, if we scale our player, our arm is going to scale with it. So that's not going to work. But we will have to scale the player to make it half the size and make our collisions work properly. So I think what we'll want to do is just Alt-P, get rid of that. And let's try the empty idea. I don't know how you're getting the empty to stay with your player, but for us, what we can do is parent our camera to the empty, like so. And instead of parenting the empty to the cam or to the player here, let's just add in some logic here, like so. Go into logic nodes, and we're going to basically fake our parent. So let's just call this fake parent, fake underscore parent. And what I'm going to want to do is go to dashboard, apply that. We'll just apply it to our empty. That's going to be fine. And we'll just do a on update like so. And we'll just set our position. The parent / position constraint. Oh, that's it. Yeah. Okay. You just gave me another idea. That's a great thing. So we'll do this way first, and then we'll do the constraint way, because the constraint's probably going to work great too. Yeah. We'll do both of them. That's the wrong position. Set world position, like so. Connect that in there. And we want to set the position of ourself, and we want to get world position. Connect that in there, and we want to select our player. So just to make it so we can actually see this happen in real time, we're going to make a little crouch system. So let's just add a key, and we'll do key down. Leave that on tap. We want our, I like control key. You can use whatever, people like to use their C key. I think that's a terrible thing for me personally, but left control is my option. And I want to set scale, like so. And ideally you'd put this in its own script, probably the player script, but this will work for me for now. And I'm just going to select my cube. And what we're going to want to do is just scale the z-axis to 0.5, like so. Mine's actually scale it to 1 because mine's 2 units tall, so you want to scale it to half of whatever your height is, like so. And one thing we can do is we need to add a property, so we can it'll be kind of a reset. If pressed, tap key down. Okay, so we don't have the options I don't think we have key up, do we? We got key down. Oh, we do have key up, so let's just do that. And we'll do once. And we'll say left control. And let's see if this will work. So we'll scale, and we want that to be 2. So theoretically, in fact, I actually want to make it so this is visible again, so we can actually see what's happening. So if I press Control, That's crazy. I forgot to set these two 1 as well. There we go. So now we have a character. If we press our control key, you can see that it does scale, but our arm stays the same. Obviously, my scales are off. I need to actually go into, I just need to press N, click on the player. Scale is 7, so I want to control C, and then control V that into here, like so. So now it should be, there we go. You'll see that the character is like floating and kind of glitching a little bit. So to fix this issue, basically the physics aren't updating properly when you just press it. They have to move forward to reactivate. And I've tried to do something like constant collisions, like even if we go into dynamic and make it so it does not sleep. So I think I can go, where's sleep at? Continuous collision detection, it still doesn't... Oh, maybe. Oh, well, that might have fixed it. So doing something like that. So now you're not floating. Obviously, it's a little bouncy, but I think that could probably be fixed. You do lose the character movement, so you'd have to use like just a translation node or a apply movement node, I think is what it's called here. Yeah, apply movement. So you'd want to do that instead of the walk node. Which is fine, but that works. So if we press play, you can see we spawn in. Obviously, I need to make my cube invisible again. So wire. So I can press play. I have my little arm, and I can press control. And we could even go a step further and go down to, let's see if we could click on our player here. I don't have a movement thing for it yet. So let's just add some keys, I guess. Like so. We'll just do key down. Now I gotta walk. We're not gonna do anything fancy though. Let's just do a very simple one, and we'll just do an apply movement. And we're not gonna worry about. According to the logic node devs, you should avoid character collision type. He says that, yeah, it's easier, but you can lose a lot of possibilities. That's true. I would only use the walk type if you're doing something very simple. Like if you have only one type of movement in your game, like you're not going to be speeding up the character, you're not going to be slowing down, you're not going to be controlling all that kind of stuff. It's okay for that. So if you're just doing like PT style, you're just walking around a static level, nothing else is happening, I don't think it really matters. But if you want more control over your player, using a dynamic character is definitely going to give you a lot more control. The only thing that I run into, and we might be able to demonstrate it here in a second once I get this moving. Can't do this logic editor, just asking. Can't do this in the logic editor. This is the preferred logic, so this will give you a lot more control. You set linear velocity instead of apply movement. Okay, well, maybe we should try doing that. So set linear. And I assume it's local. Set linear velocity. Let's try that out and see what that gives us. So we'll do our W. I'm not going to be W, A, S, and D. I'm not going to be normalizing this right now. So yeah, let's try that. And then we'll just say our cube. So I wanted to set this forward is Y. Let's just do like 0.1. This movement will not be normalized. Let me add a cube here so I can actually see if I'm moving forward. Nothing's happening. I need to set this higher. Okay. Got a little, that's kind of interesting. Oh, we get a little, so setting the linear velocity gives us a little slide. I'll be interested to see, we're on glass or ice. We can change our physics. So I think if we do friction and set that to 1, that should fix that. Yeah. Our character has a little bounce, but we still get a little bit of slide. Can I set the friction higher? There we go. Now we don't slide as far. I guess that could also be cool, though, having a little bit of a slide to your character. But that works. What I will be interested to see is if we get that force back feel that sometimes it gives you. So we got WAS. This is going to be a very rudimentary character controller, but it'll work. So for A, let's just turn that off. Negative. In fact, I'm just going to grab this. So let's see negative X. So negative, and then we'll just paste that in there. And we got S, which is just going to be this negative, and then D is going to be X, and that'll be positive. Seems that YouTube doesn't allow me to send links. Yeah, so YouTube, I think it's an anti-spam thing. I don't think I can even change it from my control panel. There are some nice templates made by the Logic Node dev. So if you want, here, let me just pull up Discord really quick. If you want, in the resource and links tab, if you want to just post those links in there, then people can access them from there. More reason for people to use the Discord, I guess. But yeah. Let's see how this works. So now we have a character control. Oh, that's an interesting thing. I'll be interested to see, because using linear velocity, you could only move one direction at a time. You can't diagonal. And I'm curious, if I run into this cube and it stops me, will it force me back? So that's an interesting thing. Yeah, you could do this in Logic Bricks. The reason I wouldn't do movement in Logic Bricks is just because you can't normalize it, so your character will move faster diagonally, since you won't be able to normalize it that way. Whereas with Logic Nodes, you can normalize your character movement. Other stuff you can do in Logic Bricks, I would actually recommend using both if you can, since Logic Bricks are more performant. They'll give you better performance, generally, than these, since I think those are programmed in C++, or what is it? C, it might just be C. It might just be in C, or C++. Where these are programmed in Python. So that's why you get better performance out of the Logic Bricks. Is what I've been told, at least. Okay. Setting linear velocity. Oh, that's cool. If only you could. Yeah, C++ for the Logic Bricks. That's what it is. All right. Hey, I'll check out. Let's check out this template really quick. I'm very interested to see. 3.61. Let's try that. Oh wow, got all the oh, we got some UI templates. This is cool. Let's download some of these. Scanning for antivirus. Did you find any? No? Just want the file. Oh, there we go. I think I actually started 2 of those. Wait, did it block my download? Nope, it didn't. Okay, let's try that out really quick. We'll try the FPS version here. Downloads. Okay, it is just a .blend file. Let's Go File. Let's see. But the 0.36 ones are using the older version of UPVG Logics, though, so shouldn't work with your version. But the 4.21, this isn't 4.2. For some reason, my version of 4.2, or 0.42, is broken, or it doesn't have logic notes. Like, I think I need to download the logic notes separately or something. I just can't remember how to do it. So, something I need to do. Yeah, you have to do it so UPBGE, like you have to do it within the API, the Blender API or the UPBGE API. I don't think just regular Python works in there. So you have to go onto their website, which unfortunately I don't think has any or all that great information. Let me just open this up. I gotta open. Let's just go downloads. There we go. Let's give this a look. Oh, it looks like the Armory one. Let's try that out. It don't work. Wonder why. Let's see. Game development. Let's just make a general layout so I can have a bigger screen. Okay, I'm getting no mouse movement out of here. I just posted the link to the Logic Node add-on. Okay, yeah, I will re-download that. Thank you. This is incredibly helpful. Let's download this. It'll be awesome once this is back in. Just being able to download Blender and have it. No need for the older version of UP released before 3.63. Oh, okay. So this newer okay. That's fine. Let me just download this and we'll go back to 4.2. I should, in fact, let me close this. And 4.2 is right here. Oh, this is 4. Wait a minute. 4.3 I have. Will it work with 4.3? Oh, yeah. Okay, you got it right there. I was thinking about 4.2. We will go to our preferences. Add-ons. Okay, 4.3. Okay, we good. Let's see. I always got to get used to it. Like everything changes every time they go up a version. Got to relearn Blender again. Okay, should just be able to. Yeah, there we go. Do I need to should I just leave it on latest, or do I need to change this? Do you know? Think. Is there anything I should do here? I think it should be fine. We'll leave it for now. Okay, let's try. Let me just re-download the 4.3 version. Okay, yeah, it should be fine. Let me go over here and we'll go to. It's 4.2, fine. FPS, download. We'll see how this is all working. Oh, it's almost 4 p.m. already. Okay. Finish? I think so. Might be okay. Open. Downloads. PS Blend. Did I get the right one? Or is this the old one? Oh, that might have been the old one. Let me make sure it's downloaded properly. Everything is crashing around me. Try it that way. Okay. Did it not download? I don't think there is for UPBGE. Okay. 340. I think, yeah, that was the right one, I believe. I think I got the right one. Just re-download that just in case, but let's try opening it again and seeing if it's the right one. I think it might not be. Might have did the wrong one there. Let's just wait a second. Yeah. To material preview. Okay. Man, Drive is just not letting me download this. Let's try that again. Okay, there we go. Oh, I just have like 7. They're all going to download now. Great. That's fine. File. And let's go open. Yep, there we go. And then let's do... If I remember correctly, there is currently a bug in 4.3 that makes everything set to wireframe still shown as solid even if it's set to render. Okay. So is that what I'm running in? Okay, there we go. Must be, is this like a UI? Oh, it's the capsule. So the capsule is currently visible. Maybe I just need to change that to... Maybe just change that to wire so we can see through it. Oh, it is wire. Does it need to be... Okay, still not working though. Set it to material preview. Yeah, so okay, it does work in material preview. Obviously it doesn't look great, but I'm still unable to interact with stuff. So we'll have to see if... It doesn't look like I have any deprecated logic. Okay, so they got an update. Okay, yeah. Let me know if it kind of works. I'm having no luck. Maybe I need to, let's see. I'm not getting any input. That is interesting. What have I done wrong? Oh, I don't know. I'm just talking to myself right now. Let's just take a look. I guess I'll just, until I figure out, I'll just take a look at what they got going on. It's local linear velocity. And then it looks like the same system that using for all this other stuff. If S is what? Oh. What am I looking at here? And why am I not seeing a actual input? That's weird. I don't get that. Unless it's being called specifically from... What? This is the only logic script. Is there some Python or something going on? Works on my part. Going to check something. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, neither version worked. So, I don't know what's up with that. I did download 100% logic nodes. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on. I know that do I need to... I wonder if I do need to change the version of my nodes. Let's see. So right now it's on latest. Let me try changing it to 3.21. And we'll try a couple different types. If it doesn't crash, that is. Oh, Blender, don't crash on me. Stop doing about... Okay. Oh, we'll figure some stuff out. I just want to check out to see if this will work now. Hey, it does work. I just had to update my logic. Okay. There we go. That's better. Now we can go into general, layout, make it big screen. Now, why is this the way it is? Is that no longer a thing? Let me go into here, make that invisible. There we go. Now we have it looking nice. Okay. These poor trash cans. Everything else has the collider showing too. Probably should have made those invisible, but that's fine. Oh, okay. Now let's take a look at the logic. There is a crouching mechanic, I think. Is that kind of what we're doing here? I don't know. Or we might have just been talking about the way movement works. Oh, we can fly though. Doesn't look like the... There we go. We can Flappy Bird fly. I need to change that, but that's fine. Preview what material? Yeah, setting it to material preview does make everything show, but you can see that like it just doesn't look as good. There's no raycast limit to the jump. Okay. That's a pretty easy fix, but it's fine for now. It doesn't matter. How are the keys being used right now? I'm kind of curious about that. I can see that you have it the same way that I was doing it in my project, but how are the keys being... What's telling the keys? Because it looks like they're just named. Or does it not matter what you actually call it? Because if I go key down, let's see, or keyboard key, So what node is this? Oh, there's some hidden stuff. Okay, so did that gun just move? That was weird. Oh, the animation is playing. It was like tripping me out for a second. Got some big bees just taking off in here. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. It doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter all that much. I don't know why I'm so focused on that. Yeah, it's right there. The properties. Yeah, I did press Alt H. Let's see. I'm not getting any other. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. It's cool. So this is actually interesting. So you got a game object property with speed. So if I click on the player, it should, yeah, our speed. So it's 4. So that's cool. And then the jump is obviously apply force. Control H. Okay. Is it? Oh yeah. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Makes things a little bit cleaner. I like that. It's good to know. And then we got our stuff here, play animation, and then the bullets are just raycast. Okay. Get world position. Get the axis vector of the. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so that's an interesting way to do. What do you mean no node? Oh, to logic bricks? I mean, logic bricks are pretty simple. What would be a good project for logic bricks? Like just to do a quick little logic brick demonstration. Let's just do a new general. No, this is UPBGE, not Armory. This is not the Armory. You know what? We've been hearing about this Flappy Bird stuff. Let's just make Flappy Birds really quick, and we can do that. Nodes are love, nodes are life. I agree. 100%. But for a quick demonstration, I'm just going to make Flappy Birds, I guess. I mean, I would say that Flappy Birds is probably the best first project. It's a great little Hello World project. So let's just do that really quick. Let's just make a logic brick window here. And we will make our first Flappy Bird character, which we'll just do keyboard. And we will do a spacebar for our keyboard. And then we will add a force. And just doing a motion here, we can add a, doing T motion, connect that together. Then let's make this dynamic. I can't find the event nodes. So what do you mean by that? So what do you mean by event nodes? So there are no event nodes. Basically, your sensors are going to be your events, and then your actuators are going to be whatever that event triggers. So that's what that does. So pressing spacebar, we're going to make our character go up, and we're just going to use a force. Yeah, I'm pretty sure bricks is what we're trying to do here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Bricks. Okay, so yeah, bricks. Hey, look at that. So I'm going to set my keyboard to tap. So Flappy Bird is going to flap. We'll set this to like 500. There we go. That's pretty decent. And let's just set the camera like so. There we go. Okay. Are You No Black Myth Wukong? I have heard of it. I have not played it, but I have heard of it. I have thought about playing it, but it's like $70. And $70 is not what I have. But it does look really cool. I'd love to play it if it was available. If I could. Let's see. Okay, so we got our little Flappy Bird cube here. And I'm going to move it over here. There we go. I'd say bricks are a little bit easier in some ways, for sure. There we go. Now let's make our cube. I'm actually going to do an emission just to make it easier to see. There we go. And let's make the background color a little bit nicer. Do like classic Flappy Bird blue. Like that. It is made by Unreal Engine. Do you know Unreal Engine? I have used Unreal Engine. I can't say that it's my favorite engine to use just because it's not very user-friendly. And I just never sat down and learned the blueprints or learned how to code C++. I'd much rather use something like Unity or Godot, personally. Those are the engines that I'm more familiar with. But yeah, you can make some pretty awesome looking games in Unreal Engine. The lighting capability alone is amazing. Okay, so now that we have our little Flappy Bird doing that, let's add some pipes. So we'll just do like a little cube. And we'll put that down like that. No, the Unreal Engine is totally fine. It's just not my preferred engine. Like, Unreal Engine is incredibly powerful. I've used Unreal Engine for a few months using blueprints. There are versions of logic nodes super powerful and good looking, but my god, there are so much useless crap everywhere. Yeah, so Unreal Engine, the interface alone is just it's not user friendly. It is not designed for people who are beginners, that's for sure. I don't know why they do that. I feel like at this point I think they do it on purpose. Can you show us your work in Unreal Engine? No, I don't have any work. So, something that happened, my main computer that I'm running on right now that we're streaming on, I lost everything, an entire terabyte of projects. So, unfortunately, this computer has no Unreal Engine. I never installed it on my laptop. My laptop's down there. I don't know why I pointed over there. It's hard to make games together. Yeah. But yeah, if I can help it, I'm not going to use Unreal Engine. I'm just not. I also just don't want to deal with the Epic platform too, like exporting for Epic. Alrighty. Let's make these. Give this material. Like we say, it was easy. Everybody would be making it. Yeah. Plus, if it was easy, no one would get paid for it. Because it wouldn't be a needed job. Kind of one of the beauties, I think. Yeah, I'm glad it helped. I mean, we all start. Yeah, making games is just hard in general. It doesn't matter what. Like, I think the biggest thing is just finding what you like the best, and then making a game in it. If you like Unreal Engine and you feel comfortable in it, and you feel like you can learn and keep growing in that engine, then do that. Because at the end of the day, whatever engine that you are the most proficient in is what you're going to be able to make the best projects in. Let's see. I want to see how you will export APK in UPBG. So it's not so with UPBGE you don't export to export an APK. You export it just as an exe file. So you just export it as Blender runtime, which I think I have to enable. I don't think it's enabled right now. But yeah, I do have a video on it if you want to see what the way to export in UPBGE is. If you wanted to export an APK or something like that, Armory is the way to do that. Because Armory, you can export it to web, you can export it to Android, that kind of stuff. If you want to deal with the export issues that you can run into. You don't have Armory. You don't have to code in. It has a logic node editor as well. Just it doesn't have logic bricks is the thing. So if you're proficient with logic nodes, then it's easier to get into that. But otherwise, Hax is what you'd have to code in. And you know what I was surprised about? I have never really been a coder, but I found that GDScript, surprisingly, even for someone who is really new to it, that was a really easy language to kind of get a hold of and grasp. I'm just I'm just stealing code from everyone. Yeah. Oh, is the delay? Yeah. I tried to fix the delay on the stream a little bit for chat. I don't know what's up with that. Because I could set it to the lowest amount. I think the stream delay from my internet is also a problem. So once my internet is increased and I have better internet, it should go away hopefully a little bit more. Why they delete visual scripting from Godot? I think it's because visual scripting in Godot was not good. Like I remember them having it, but I don't think anybody ever used it, and I don't even think there's really any tutorials on it. Uh, oh, I don't have any projects on here. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, good night. Yeah. Have a good night, and we'll see you. We'll see you in the next one. Hopefully. But there was a third-party node and logic added for Godot. It's pretty good, apparently. Yeah, so that's one cool thing. In fact, here, let me reopen that again. Man, sometimes Windows is annoying. Let's just go into the asset library. Go online. Sure. Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a package for it. Let's see. Visual. I'm in all caps again. Visualization. I wonder what the name of it is. Like, is there a specific name for it? GDScript demo, widget by code, 2D code. Or did they not have it in the library yet? Or at all? Okay, let's give that a shot. Oh, maybe it's just not in the package installer. I might have to... You need to get it externally? Okay, that makes sense. I'm just getting music theory. Add-on Godot. Okay, there we go. I just had to give it a little bit more detail. Okay. Okay, so yeah, they just have a GitHub that you can use, like a repository here. And they got a bunch of nodes. It's looking like Unreal Engine nodes. Let's pull this over here. Yeah. So you can just you can grab the code up from here, and then looks like they got quite a few little nodes. Rotate. Okay. I think I'd probably stick with GDScript personally, just because I want to learn how to do it, and I want to learn how to script. But I think this would actually be cool, especially for prototyping. I wonder what the performance is. What the performance is like. And it looks like they do have 4.3. Complete visual script solution for Godot, compatible with Godot 4.2. Works with any Godot engine data type, including complex types like arrays and dictionaries. Ooh, that's cool. That'd be awesome. I wish to zoom in, please. No such luck. They have a video? Oops. No, they don't. I was tricked. I was tricked by that play button. That's fine. Hey, that's cool though. I am actually going to save that for later. Okay, what were we doing? I think everybody left. Talking about Godot. Nobody wanted to stick around for that. That's fine. I was making Flappy Birds. I guess all I have to do is make it so these pillars work. Coding don't work. So what do you mean by coding doesn't work? Well, what's not working about it? Let's make it so these. So let's actually make these pillars green because pipes. There we go. Like that a little bit better. Now I need to make it so these are going to just slide across the screen here. So we'll just do it always. And we'll put this on the tick, and we'll do like a tick of 3. And then we'll do T motion. And let's see, I want this to go on the negative y-axis, and we'll do like 0.1. Oops, 0.1. Let's see how fast that is. I guess I need to set the rotation. Nope. I just need to actually put the right value in. There we go. I think that's okay. That'll work. Obviously, it's pretty rudimentary. You wouldn't be able to change the speed of it, but that's fine. But what we can do is now apply this to all of our objects. So that can go up like that. And we'll take this one, move it to like right here, press M, new collection. And I'm just going to say pipe like that. Because we're going to be spawning this guy. And so we'll make those all invisible. Add a new empty right here. And this empty is going to be spawning our pipes. And I want to make this happen randomly. So I wonder if is there random on this side? Radar, random. Do like a seed of 157, that looks fine. Edit object, and let's just spawn our cube. And see what kind of random intervals we get. And we want it to disappear after like 200. There we go. Whoa, we're getting quite the stream there. So perhaps not, perhaps 1000. And I think the best thing to do is just going to be to do an always. That's going to be fine. I'll do it like every 30. It'll be even, but... Okay. That's a little bit obnoxious, but we're getting closer. So let's just go skip, and we want this to be like 400 maybe. Okay, it's too spaced apart now. Let's do 100. Okay. Now it's going to be perfectly spaced apart, so that's unfortunate, but that's fine. I think what we'll do, and well, maybe, we'll see. Can I make it so we'll do our another always, except this one will be on tap. And then, can I actually set scale with logic nodes? I don't know. I don't think so. Because generally what I'd want to do is something like this. We'll just go in here. We'll do a new one. We'll call this pipe. And we will apply it. Then I just want a on int node. Then I will set scale, like so, because I want it to be a random height each time. So let's do world scale, yeah, that's fine, and just do self, and the value is going to be random. So let's get a random value. Yeah, we'll do random value. Now I want a vector. Let's see. Oh yeah, vector XYZ, I think. Yep. Combine. Oh, that's right. It's called combine here. And I just want the z-axis, and I want this to be a vector. Oh, but I don't need that then. Oh wait, yeah, I do. Vector. Oops. So I want a I think it's just vector XYZ. Okay, that'll work. No. I'm all lost now. Separate XYZ. There we go. I want the Z there. I want the result from that vector there. And I want a minimum of... What's the size of this? 3.4. Control C. So I want a max of 3.4. And I want a minimum of 0.5. GameMaker. I wanted to do a video on GameMaker because I've never actually used it, but I thought it would make a fun like first impression thing, like me making a game in an engine that I don't know anything about. And then how long would that take me to do? I think that would be pretty cool. Okay, so let me just turn those off. Okay, so now it's working. So I get a random size each time, I think. Maybe. And I think I'll set this to 0.75. Let's see if that's still on screen when it's the smallest it can be. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So now that we have that, I'm actually going to apply this script to our spawned object. And I'll just move that down here for now. There we go. And I can hide that again. So now every time it spawns, it should be, yeah, a different size. Which is awesome. And then we just need to do this for the top as well. Keep accidentally pressing save. So all I need to do is select this. I'm going to duplicate that. And just move it over here. So now we should get both. Yep, there we go. And I think it will be a matter of changing some of the sizes a little bit. Perhaps I want this to be a maximum of 5, because we don't want them to be too tight together. This is not Flappy Bird, it is Flappy Cube. Yeah, I mean, the idea is right. The idea is the same. There we go. Still got some floating cubes, but that's fine. So I guess we need a game over state now, if we collide with it, like so. So I think what we'll do to start with is select our character. I want to add in a cube, and I'm gonna just shrink it down a little bit, move it up, like so. And this is going to be my particle. And I'll make this a red. I'll make it the same color as the player. Up the emission. Let's add some bloom to this game so it looks cool. Oh, that's interesting. I guess I'll have to... maybe you can't do that anymore. Whatever, that's fine. Make this more of a red color. And then let's click on the player and add a new script. Call this just player, I guess. That'll be fine. And I want to make it so on collision, we'll do that. And the property is going to be pipe. Like so. Just copy that and give it to these. There we go. Like so. That one's fine. And then I want to give it to this. There we go. And then when the player collides with it, I want to do a spawn pool. Like so. And let's just connect that in. The spawner is going to be self, and the instance is going to be our little cube here. Let's just spawn like 100. And the life will be 3 for now. Now I want to take my little thing, my little cube, make this a rigid body. Delay and replace the mesh with sprite sheet. Yeah, I would, but I think the process for that is... Oh! Okay. Let's set the scale of this object. There we go. And then I need to delete this. We're in the prototype stage. Oops. I need to delete. Or maybe it's called remove in here. Remove object. There it is. And self. Okay, that works all right. So I could probably use a few more particles. Let's take this and do new and just call it cube or spawn or whatever. Something like that. So we get one particle. I don't think that'll work. Okay. Spawn for 1. Okay. I can't remember how that exactly works. Maybe I should just go into here. So let's just make this visible again. Maybe I'll just do it the way that I did it in one of my other projects. So instead of doing the spawn pool, I'll just spawn a collection. Collection. And we will... Maybe it's a... Yeah, we'll just spawn... I'll just spawn object. So add object, and on the end of that, we'll remove that on collision. Now let's just take this, and for 1, I want to actually build a particle script. Like so. Apply that to selected, and I want this to... what's it going to be called? Interpolate, or... tween, I think is, yep, tween value. So I want to tween a value. I want this to happen on demand. And I want to set scale. Like so. I want the result to go into the value. It's not going to work that way. I need to separate the X, Y, and Z. Nope, that's not going to work. I need a combination of the two, I think. No, I don't. I just need a vector. Nobody there? I need a combine XYZ. There we go. Factor will just drop into all of these. Vector into the value. And I will have this happen. We'll just do this on update. Might not even, maybe we won't need it that way, but we'll see. And then I will just have it happen to self. We'll do from 1 to 0 with a duration of 1. So yeah, it's just allowing me to take a float value and then convert that float value into a vector value. Oh, so how is the delay affecting, what's the delay doing? Can someone tell me what the delay is affecting? Is it making it like, is it just behind? How is it as a viewer experience? I meant this to be the result. Okay, that works. Okay, that's what I wanted. Now I will do a rounded curve. There we go. Then what I want to do is just move this over here. And I want to make it so this... And if I'm tell me if I'm going too fast too, if I need to slow down. Nice. Geometry Dash is a pretty cool game too. So what I want to do, basically what this is doing, is it's just making it so that cube shrinks into nothingness. And then I actually want to remove that object. It takes a while between the time we comment and the time it seems the comment. Do you think having a window with YouTube stream would see? So maybe I'm here. Let me close or minimize, because right now I'm reading chat through Streamlabs. So maybe Streamlabs is behind. Let me check. Let me just open up a instance of the stream here. If I go into Studio, go to Live. Let's see. Can I read the chat? Go to Live. There we go. Let me just not pause that. Just mute it. Oh, that's weird. I don't even see the chat. But remake is funny. So I can't even see the chat on the side. Okay. Is that something I need to enable? Oh, there it goes. No, the camera battery. I guess that's cueing the end. In fact, I actually need to go take care of the horses. So, I think I will have to end this here because I don't want to leave them out too long. Alrighty, well, thank you all so much for watching. Obviously my camera's gonna die here in a second. There's no 2D in UPBG? No. Well, you can fake it, but not natively. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to take off here. Alrighty, thank you all so much. It's been great. What was the new mechanic I wanted to add to the game? See ya. I'll explain it. I'll probably explain it later. I totally forgot what I was working on. But we'll resume once again. I'm sure I'll be able to think of it. See y'all later. Take care. Let me close this out.